Hey, how's it going? So, this article I'm gonna link in the description. Like, I read it a long time ago. There was a way to overcome the paywall. But, it's very simple, right? So, monkeys were willing to pay a grape, right? If they, if you give them a picture of the alpha male of their tribe. Alright? So, like monkeys really like grapes, but they would prefer to look at the picture of a high status apes. So where do we see this behavior in humans? Celebrities, right? So humans buy posters, they buy pictures, they buy videos, they buy anything to do with celebrity that endorses something or a picture of celebrity. Does that make sense? Right? So how do marketing companies expose this? So I was talking to DigiNerd, like we were just chatting on, he just responded to, like through comments, right? He was responding to, and he told me about Michael Jordan and how he is a hard worker and stuff like that. And I just wanted to kind of now, not to take away from Michael Jordan, he's a hard worker, but he's not the hardest working person ever. Does that make sense? His genetics are like, I'd say 70% of his achievement is probably maybe 60%, I'd say, is due to his incredible body. Just his arms. Like if you were to take a basketball player that is 6'6" height and say, we want to structure a perfectly shaped body for basketball, you would have Michael Jordan body. Scottie Pippen is like that as well, right? Like Scottie Pippen, I'd say 70% of his successes. The biggest example is this Yonis Matokutombo or something. Yanis, I think his name is, right? This guy. Dude, if I give you his body today, you will be an NBA player. That I promise you. Right? Because if you look, like he can't really shoot well because he probably doesn't want to practice. Right? But his body shape, when I looked at this guy, I said, dude, I looked at how he plays, he is pure genetics, right? That's why I don't really want to watch NBA anymore, because you're just watching either the rich kids or genetical freaks, right? That's it. Because I'm telling you, if I were to take your body, if I were to take you and just slash you into this guy's body, you're gonna be NBA, 100%, without shadow of doubt, right? It's just his genetics are just way too good. Michael Jordan is a version of that, right? Okay, so how does marketing abuse this, right? So what do they want to do? Let's just think about it for a second. So put on the hat of a CEO of a company that wants to expose this for profit. So what do we need to do first? We need to take an ape, right? Well, let's draw a circle, right? And we call him, I don't know, John. Okay. Now let's say John. So how do we get people to pay money to look at John? We need to make him into an alpha ape, right? So we need to make him into something special, something magical, that people are gonna be like, oh my god, this guy is amazing. Oh my god, he's so good. He's so hardworking. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Now, if I were to tell you, oh, he's born... Well, let's have two marketing strategies. One is the truth, right? Well, let's call it the truth. Right? Truth. One is hero's journey. So the truth is like, alright, so he was born in a privileged family or neighborhood, right? So he had access to sports and equipment, something that you don't, right? He had budget, right? He was born at the right time and place. So for example, let's say, I don't know, let's say sports, the state just got massive funding from the government to promote some kind of sport, and they desperately need somebody to be that guy. And they find John, and he's that guy, right? So I'll give an example. Like when I was training basketball, my coach was a Soviet Union girls coach for basketball, right? That was a long time ago. And I was the first boys team on his team, right? And he wanted to be successful. And he saw me, I was like super driven, and he was like, okay, this guy's gonna carry, right? So he gave me equipment, like I could go to the gym anytime I wanted, right? It wasn't like the super best gym, but it was there. It was good enough, right? Then, well, not of course during school hours, but I mean, I could stay, like I could train, stay after the training session because he owns the gym, right? Then also I had a brother who played basketball, so I could go to his training sessions and play with senior kids, right? Then my coach also gave me this another guy who is like a semi-professional basketball player who would train with me. He would actually, when we played 5-on-5, he would actually guard me and groom me to be better, right? So I had the opportunity to become good, and I did become good, right? But like I'd say 70% of that success comes from that opportunity, right? Because there are a lot of kids I saw who were also driven as me, right? They had same genetics as me, also tall, you know. I wouldn't say, but like enough about talking about me, blah blah blah. It's just it doesn't matter, right? I'm just saying that there are situations where right time, right place is a massive advantage, right? So what else can we say? His brain is wired well for the sports he's playing. Right? Now, so this is one marketing story. The second marketing story is he was living in a poor neighborhood. He was handicapped, but through dedication and hard work he made it, right? That's kind of the classic hero journey. You can actually read about it in here, hero's journey. Whoops. Yeah, this one here. There is loads of it. Like it's classic. It's classic. They use it a lot of the times, like in Hollywood movies, in marketing. It's standard stuff where, you know, you are like underprivileged. Usually, like you're underprivileged. You know, you go through suffering. Then you discover yourself, or there is some kind of mentor figure. You go through a series of transformation, and then you return, and now you are a superhero, right? There's a lot of versions of it. I'm gonna link it in the description below so you can see. But that's, in a nutshell, the hero journey. Now, which one do you think is gonna make more money? Now, when I read this, I don't think John is an alpha male at all, or alpha ape at all. I think John is privileged, genetic, spoiled kid who just, you know, just wired to do this, right? Now, so I'm not gonna buy anything in here, right? Because, I mean, whatever, dude. Anybody can do it, right? Anybody who is born in here would have similar results to John, right? If you think about it. That's what I'm saying. If I were to take you and I would slash you into this body, you would have these results. That's why when I look at this guy, I don't see anything special at all, right? Because I played with guys who are genetical freaks, and, well, the problem why they didn't make it is because they're in Ireland, right? You're not gonna make it to NBA from Ireland. That I promise you, right? And they were good. Like, I mean, they were exceptionally good, right? And impossible to guard them because genetics are just so advantageous, right? But I mean, they would get similar results to this guy, right? So this is not really sexy. This is not gonna sell well. Remember, you're the CEO of the company. You want to make maximum profit. And for us to make maximum profit, we need to make John into high status ape. So what are we gonna do? We are going to bullshit. We're gonna say, oh, Mr. Yanis, he was handicapped by nature. His IQ is too low. He was born with crooked arms, but through hard work, and he proved that beyond all the shadow of doubt, he can do it, right? And that's how they make him into because if I can make you believe that you and this guy are the same, and the reason why he's in the NBA and you're not is through hard work and education, now that is something I can appreciate, right? Every human appreciates something like this, right? Because now that's a distinction that is purchasable. Now I want to buy the book and find out how many hours does he work per day, what type of diet does he have, right? Does he sleep a lot or does he skip on sleep? Can you actually get used to sleeping 6 hours per day? Now, of course, you cannot because I already studied that. But we're not going to get into this topic, right? But you see, that is something magical and special, and I'm going to buy it. Okay? So what do you see in marketing? You see the hero's journey all the time. Why am I talking about this now? Because DigiNerd basically kind of stressed Michael Jordan. Now, Michael Jordan is a perfect example of this, right? So, the story about Michael Jordan, when I was growing up, was Michael Jordan got cut from his senior team, but next year he worked on himself and he made it. Now, if you want specifically that quote, you can watch, I think it's available for free nowadays, Michael Jordan Playground. This entire thing, there, you see, it's for free, you can watch it for free. The entire video is how you have to work hard and how Michael Jordan suffered and went through a lot of pain. And basically, the hero's journey. How Michael Jordan went through hero's journey because he got cut from his senior team, but next year he made it, right? So it's the same thing in here. You see, you'll see. So this guy, got cut from. You see, so he was in one of the year. He was hoping to make it to the team, but his name was not caught. And the coach is like, I'll see you next year, right? So then he goes to the playground, he's demoralized, right? Then he starts doubting himself, then Michael Jordan shows up, he tells him, hey, blah, 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 I got cut from my sophomore team, and then I became good, and of course, lo and behold, this guy makes it to the team at the end, right? Oh, I think it's the end. It's somewhere here. Yeah, so you see he's now improved version of himself. That's the kind of the BS I got fed when I was growing up, basically, right? So we watch, I mean, you see, and he makes it to the team. Classic hero's journey. Classic hero's journey. Now, so what can we say? What can we say in reality happened? So I did research, and basically the reality is that Michael Jordan got cut because he was too young. Alright? He was playing in senior team and owning the senior team, but the rules of the high school basketball disallowed players that young to play on the senior team. Do you understand? So the guy is so good at such a young age that he is destroying the senior team. And the only reason he got cut is because there were health and safety concerns that some gigantic Shaquille O'Neal type of guy or Dwight Howard type of guy is gonna accidentally fall on him and break his like muscles or whatever, or skeleton, right? Because he's too junior. Now that's a big difference between being cut for being bad or being cut because you are too young and yet you're so good that you can own the entire senior team. So what did the marketing team do? They jumped on the hero's journey. They lied about Michael Jordan being cut. And they do it all the time. Why? Because if they were to tell you the truth, you would say, holy shit, he must have some crazy ass genetics that even at the age of 15, he can play, go toe to toe, and destroy the senior. Right? Of course, like he has to practice. But man, not a lot of people have this type of genetics. Right? Where your body is already performing so well at such a young age where you can go toe to toe with the senior team. That is like insane. Absolutely insane. So what do the marketing do? Why do they do that? Is because now if they tell you that Michael Jordan had to go through the hero's journey, you're gonna pay grapes to see they basically try to convert him into high status ape. Does that make sense? They want to eliminate your critical thinking because the question is, if we were to put you into Michael Jordan body and give you the same opportunities, now the chances are of you being Michael Jordan, now we have to factor in the brain, you have to be wired the same, and then of course we have to go through personality. But my guess is you would be somewhere in the NBA just through opportunities and through body shape and through just average amounts of training. You would end up somewhere in NBA for sure. You might not be like the starting 5 player, you might not be Hall of Famer, but you would be in NBA for sure. Right? So that's not very sexy. That's what I'm saying. It's the same with this guy. It's not very interesting to watch a perfectly shaped it's kind of like watching Cheetah sprint 100 meters. Of course she's going to win. Right? Because look at her body, I mean. You know what I mean? I mean, like, imagine putting this into a race with random dogs. Like, the only dogs that can go toe to toe with this type of animal is a greyhound, and I doubt greyhound can even compete with this, right? So that's what we're looking at. We're basically looking at Cheetah running in a race against random dogs. Do you know what I mean? Of course she's gonna be good. Duh, right? So that's what I'm saying is be careful when the marketing people try to bullshit you, right? Because you might feel very bad because you didn't make it, right? Because, you know, like, you tried, you're not getting results, and you increase your effort and you're still not getting results, and then you start doubting yourself. You have to look at the kind of, why aren't you getting results? Right? Is it because of the environment? Is it something that you do? Now you have to, I'm saying that be critical of yourself, but also test the environment, right? Now, if you're lazy as, well, I'm not gonna go, like, if you're just lazy dude, right? Of course, if you're not getting results, okay. But I mean, if you're working like 7 days a week, right? If you're like putting in the effort, you're reading the books, you're studying what successful people do, you develop good habits, right? You spend your time efficiently, and you're still not getting the results that you're looking for, you might need to look at the environment, right? You might need to consider, okay, what the hell is going on? Does that make sense? I'm talking about, like, for example, let's say League of Legends is a good example. Let's say you're playing, I used to play Caitlyn as a ADC, and I just could not get out of Bronze 5. It was just like, I would get into Bronze 1, but I get so tilted. I go back to Bronze 3, I get so tilted. And I was like, Jesus, like, what the hell is going on? Then I swapped to playing Vayne. It was a little bit better, but Vayne is like, if you get fed, you're a god, but getting fed is a problem. So I got to maybe, I don't know, bronze 4 or something. But I was like, damn, what's the problem in here, right? And I was like, man, my support is a big problem. If my support sucks, I usually can't do much, especially with Vayne. So I was like, okay, let me try to play 3-on-3 map, right? So I swapped to 3-on-3. I always went top, and I picked Garen. And man, I started winning a lot more games. Like, way, way more. But back then, Tryndamere was absolutely busted on 3-on-3 map. And this is how I literally... Like, every game I would see Tryndamere, who is good, he would just massacre me and my entire team. I was like, dude, I need to swap. It's the champion. It's the champion. Champion is a big deal in League of Legends. Because when I was playing Caitlyn, I thought it was all about skill. I thought the reason why I'm losing is because of me. I can play with any support. It's all about me. I have to work hard, blah, 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 right? But now I'm thinking, dude, champion is very, very important, right? The meta is very, very important. Your lane is very, very important. So when I picked Tryndamere, I started playing 3-on-3. Man, I just skyrocketed in success. I just murdered everyone. I was like, damn, this champ is goddamn, he's so good, right? Then I also played Darius. Darius is absolutely brain dead busted, right? And then that's how I basically got into, I think it was gold. That's how I got into gold, just on Tryndamere alone, right? And then, of course, I got into diamond. Well, back then I was playing Darius and Trynda and Garen, kind of like swapping. I also played Renekton for a while, but like I realized back then that, like, dude, it's not really about hard work. It's about what's broken. Do you know what I mean? So again, it's very important to understand. You might be playing Caitlyn. That's why you're not successful. It's not because you're CSing incorrectly. It's because you're playing Caitlyn. That's why. Like right now, if you're playing Ashe or Twisted Fate, not gonna happen. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Okay? You can play all you like. 3,000 games, doesn't matter. Not gonna happen. Right? You pick Darius top lane right now. Instant gold. Instant. Right? With little to no training. Right? Very, very small amounts of training. Because champion is just too busted. Same with Garen. Too busted. Too strong. And I like spoke to guys who actually have 70% win rate. They're like in bronze. I spoke to them. I said, yeah, why aren't you playing Garen and climbing? He says, Garen is so boring. Winning with him is so easy. It's actually too boring, basically. Right, so... and I agree with him. When I watch Jax players, like Jax mains, when they play E, I usually just quit. I just Alt F4 if I'm watching Twitch. Like, as soon as I see E, that ability is so stupid, I don't even want to talk about it, right? That E on Jax is just, it's such noob ability. I just want them to get rid of it, basically. It's too much, you know. It's just too noob, right? It's too noob. If you play Jax and you press E, you should lose LP. Like, it's just such a stupid ability. Like, okay, a long time ago, like, I'll get into a bit of a rant, but a long time ago, alright, he had like 20 seconds cooldown on his E. There was not a lot of cooldown reduction on his kit, so he had to time his E because it was so broken. But he had to time it, at least. Like Fiora right now. Fiora is a broken champion. We're not going to talk about her too much, but her Riposite, or whatever it's called, her ability is broken. It's stupid. But it has a cost, which is long cooldown. And Jax now has no cost, because his kit has a lot of cooldown reduction in it. Not the kit, but the build. So he can spam it every 5 seconds. It's so stupid. And the ability lasts 3 seconds. Because you think about it, 2.5 seconds. He spins it, and then he stuns you for like 0.7 seconds, right? And then he can do it again in like 4 seconds. It's so stupid. It's like when I see, I don't know, what was it, Blade or something he plays, I saw him play Jax, he pressed E, I was like, no, I'm out of here, see you later. I just can't watch that shit, you know? It's same with me when I play Nasus, I just want to uninstall, I just can't take this. It's like a dude can miss everything, play like shit, right? miss every single cannon. He goes, he gets to 120 stacks, goes by Shin, and now he owns everyone. Everyone. Right? He beats. It's so brain dead. That's why I kind of don't want to play League anymore. Anyway, back to the topic. If you find yourself spending grapes for high status apes, you have to verify whether they are actually high status apes or they are spoiled rich kids with super genetics or they got somehow lucky. Right? Because you have to remember, like, those guys, like, what's one of the guys I hate the most? What's his name? Gary V or Gary Klee or something like that. He does marketing or something like this. Marketing. No, that's not him. Social media, maybe. Maybe Gary V. Yeah, this guy here. Man, this guy is so full of shit. He basically got lucky on YouTube because there was a trend about some kind of wine channels. And everything he says is such garbage. Like, it's just so bad. He says, oh, I only sleep for 6 hours. Right? When somebody tells me I sleep for 6 hours, I immediately know that their job is non-existent. They don't do anything at their job. Right? Because I'm like a programmer, right? If I do, like, I'll show you, like, if I do this, so you go to hacker rank, alright, one sec, I'll find it for you. Yeah, so you see you can do a 3 months preparation kit and you can do kind of like advanced algorithms problem solving. If you don't get 10 hours of sleep, you will no way on the face of this galaxy be able to do any one of those unless you have done it before. And even if you have done it before, if you haven't done it for like a month, you won't be able to solve it on 6 hours of sleep. In fact, on 6 hours of sleep, you'll struggle with easy because you need a lot of brain power to do it. Now, when I'm resting for like, I don't know, I decide to take 2 days off and do absolutely nothing, including not even play anything. Just watch movies and eat cheeseburgers, right? I can get away with 5.5 hours because there is no brain activity, there's no physical exercise, there's no decision making, there is nothing that is draining your, there's nothing taxing you. So when somebody comes in and tells me, oh, I sleep 5 hours, I was like, dude, you're not doing anything at your job. And then he basically tries to BS you into believing that there's a previous video I made about why aren't you successful? If you're so smart, why aren't you successful? Because he's trying to convince you that Michael Jordan is good because he works hard, not because he has all those magical genetical abilities, right? And he's trying to tell you that he made it because... Now, if you want to find out the truth, the easiest way to check is to see what is the success of their followers. So don't look at the Gary V, look at the people who are following him. And I actually have one sample, 1 second. Yeah, so look at this guy here. I have this like YouTube graveyard, so I collect samples, right? Because I want to know that, is it in my head, am I making up stuff, or is it real? My assumptions, right? So there is this guy, there he is, right? And he is at the Gary V convention. So you see, he asks the question, Gary V starts bullshitting him as usual, right? And he's like, yeah, you see? And this guy's like, yeah, my channel doubled. And Gary V's like, yeah, you see, you doubled your channel. Surprise, surprise. What he doesn't realize is that when he says he doubled his channel, he went from 200 subscribers to 400. I can tell you I tripled my channel because I used to have, well, I actually even more than tripled. I 20x'd my channel because I used to have 5 subscribers, like in 2010, and it's 2001, I have 106, right? So I 21x'd my channel. And Gary V's like, yeah, dude, like, you're not gonna become a billionaire on, look at his channel, like, I mean, it's 8 years 8 years and he is on 13k subscribers. I bet you he's not even monetizing. I bet you he's, like, we can see if his videos have ads in them. If they do, then he's monetized. Oh, I'm running an ad block, 1 sec. So let's see, are there any ads playing? Okay, good, at least he's monetizing. At least there is some monetization. Let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So at least he's monetizing, right? But I mean, how much money is really making? Like, this video has like what? You approximately make, I think, it was like 1 cent or $1 for 10,000 views or something like that, right? So he made $0.50 on this video. Like $0.50. And I'm assuming that he's in the United States, because in the United States the biggest pay per view is in the United States, and Germany is also quite high. If he's in some kind of India, it's probably like less than 1 cent for 10,000 views, because like the advertising varies between, you know, what country you're in and what type of companies are advertising on your channel. So I mean, you could be like 1 million viewers and you're only earning like 10 cents, because the ads are just so, the demographics is just not there. But again, you see who is making money in here? Mr. V is making money, not Neil Digra, right? So I'm saying, don't be this guy. That's what I'm saying. Don't be this guy. Okay? Why? Because he's wasting. He probably quit his job, thinking that Gary V, he's gonna be the next Gary V. It's been 8 years, and he's making $0.50 per video. So that's kind of sad. And I'm pretty sure he's like a hardworking guy, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, don't be this guy. Okay? Don't buy into this bullshit, right? Gary V got lucky, and that's it. That's how he became wealthy, because he got lucky. There are plenty of YouTubers who are the same as him. But I mean, he decided to make it into whatever. But like, I'm just saying, don't be this guy, right? Don't waste your time. So that's what I'm saying, okay? The final one I'd say is the best way to check is check the results of their followers. Because in science, to say something is scientific, I think it has to be replicable, right? Is one of them. Replicable. And I think consistent. Like, for science to accept something as a proven method to work, it has to be replicable. So that means if John can do it, that means Jenny can do it, that means David can do it, right? It's replicable. And there is consistent. It means that results of John will be very similar to results of Jenny, which is very similar to results of whatever. We know, for example, that getting a job, training yourself to become an engineer, will land you a job somewhere between salary range of, I don't know, if you starter, 40 to 60,000. Once you become mid-level, you'll be like 50 to 80. Once you become senior with 10 to 20 years of experience, you'll be 100 plus. Now that is replicable, consistent, proven, done bazillion times, right? Whereas in this system, it's not replicable. Because every single person that I ever looked at who follows this type of marketing advice, they are poor, but the guy on the stage is rich. So it's not replicable. Right? So please don't waste your time. Take care.